Welcome to this edition of OC News. I'm Elizabeth Monso.
And I'm Astrid Guerra. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
Today, President Barack Obama will be making his second appearance at the University of Southern California. Hundreds of students are anxiously awaiting to hear the president speak. This is round 3 of the gubernatorial debate between Democratic candidate Jerry Brown and Republican Meg Whitman. Tonight, they will head face-to-face to see who's the right fit for California. Elections approach on November 2nd. Vote fairs are being hosted across campuses. Local politicians are coming out, talking to students, hoping to get youth vote. Here we are at NBC, where all the magic happens before it hits your screen. After long and intense debates, the healthcare reform bill finally passed. Although not everyone supported it, some Republicans strongly opposed this bill. On a lighter note, OC pets lend a paw for a good cause. Astrid Guerra treats us to the story. Think your iPhone can't do it all? Well, you might be surprised. Some have found a way to crack down the code and download apps illegally. A new law is making jailbreaking legal.
And later, they're flipping for a good cause. These furry pets are doing tricks to help the Make-A-Wish Foundation. That and more straight ahead.
Welcome to this edition of OC News. I'm Elizabeth Monso.
And I'm Astrid Guerra. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton. Our first story takes us through the history of the cat and mouse game between hackers and Apple. Scott gives us the inside look.
January 9th of 2007, Steve Jobs of Apple announced a revolutionary new product.
A widescreen iPod with touch controls, a revolutionary mobile phone, and a breakthrough internet communications device. And we are calling it iPhone.
While hundreds and even thousands of people waited in lines at Apple stores nationwide, the iPhone left some users in the cold because you couldn't have things like custom ringtones and you had to use AT&T. The catalyst for jailbreaking has been custom ringtones, a feature that Apple left out and this first generation Apple iPhone hasn't been able to do. In fact, it wasn't until the second generation iPhone that you could have custom ringtones, and it wasn't easy or cheap. Now, the Palm Treo, one of the smartphones that's been around before the iPhone, you've been able to have custom ringtones. Even your basic flip phones have been able to have custom ringtones long before the iPhone.
There's an old saying about Ford motor cars that you could have any color you want as long as it's black, and that very much applies to Apple. So users jailbreak their phones to take back that control. They can put anything they want on their phone. They can make modifications to anything. It really makes it their device again.
Once users could customize their iPhones and make ringtones, the next step was to change the service provider from AT&T to popular providers such as Rogers, Vodafone, and T-Mobile.
George Hotz, at the time 17, went with a friend of his to the Apple Store in order to pick up his iPhone, the original iPhone 2G. Only George didn't know that it only worked with AT&T. He used T-Mobile. So when he got home, he plugged it into his iTunes, it connected up, and it just would not turn on. And he was very sad and decided he was going to fix it.
Hi everyone, I'm GeoHot. This is the world's first unlocked iPhone.
The combination of being able to install third-party apps through jailbreaking and GeoHot's unlock led to a cat and mouse chase between Apple and the jailbreak community. Since the first iPhone, there have been over 20 different methods to jailbreak iPhones, and Apple has fixed them all. They've even tried to get jailbreakers to have to pay a fine and even face jail time. Up until July 26, 2010, where the Elections Frontier Foundation fought and legalized jailbreaking iPhones, basically arguing that owners own the phones and they can do what they want with it. This was a breath of fresh air for people who worked so hard on developing the jailbreaks and for those who rely on making their phones work with carriers like T-Mobile. Nowadays, it's extremely easy to jailbreak your iPhone, as long as you haven't upgraded your firmware too far. Simply Google, how do you jailbreak an iPhone? Or you can head on over to YouTube and type in, how do you jailbreak an iPhone? And the nice thing is you get to watch a video of someone demonstrating how to jailbreak the iPhone. Once you've been shown what to do, all you have to do is download the correct software, run the application, press a few buttons, and voila, you're jailbroken. Now you're on your way and ready to start customizing your phone. Reporting for OC News, this is Scott Herder.